Hello and welcome to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm an average podcast co-hostess named Drusilla Adeline. Welcome to another
That's not
episode
Drusilla.
of
That's not her.
How you doing, Josh? Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm well rested, returned from the Pacific Northwest in my little cottage in the woods. And now I am out in these Hollywood streets. I'm actually pitching the show that I created.
Oh my God.
So it's going really well. But of course, chances are not good in this climate. So I'm trying to keep my expectations in check. So yeah, it's sort of a stressful time, but I'm good.
I'm glad you took some time to go touch grass. That is great. That is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe fresh
grass.
Air. Bury yourself back in the dirt. Rise again.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I'm so excited that you're shopping yourself around once again. I cannot wait for people to be able to take a look at your work, and I hope that it gets picked up and put on TV screens so I can rub it into my eyeballs very soon.
Well, I mean, I hope, but the market's really tough right now. Everyone wants really kind of safe things. I keep hearing the phrase survive till 25. I keep going to general meetings where people say that what they really want is like cop procedurals and doctor procedurals. So it feels like we've just tech has ruined everything just so they could recreate 90s cable television. Yeah. So
change your name to Dick Wolf and then they'll take so many meetings with you.
Chuck Lorre.
Yeah. Dick Wolf wants to make a witch show? Let him.
How are you?
I'm good. I've been able to have a lot of time off. I've got even more time off coming up. And so I've found myself kind of in a weird limbo of being like, what do I do with myself again if I'm not working? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to balance that while also it's very much like, well, the things I want to do are going to take up a lot of time and are going to restructure my life, or I could just putz around the house and reread Anne Rice books. So I've been putzing around the house and rereading Anne Rice books and hoping that sparks inspiration in me to get back to writing and playing music. So
I love it.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Did you watch anything cool?
I did. So over the weekend, my girlfriend and I took a little adventure day just to go out and about and do stuff. And that usually means go to a myriad of estate sales, shop around through dead people's things, get a good sandwich, and then come back and watch a movie. And we were way out in the Encino area, so we swung by CD Trader, which is one of my favorite little record store video stores. Mm-hmm. In the greater Los Angeles area. It's a delight, and they've got a really wild selection and really, really good prices. I don't know what it is about people who live in the Valley, but all of the used DVDs and Blu-rays there are from the boutique labels. So you'll be able to find Severin and Vinegar Syndrome and Altered Innocence and stuff there, and find batshit crazy stuff. So we like going there to get stuff like that. And we found a movie that we'd never heard of before. It was $6 for a Blu-ray. So we were like, fuck it, just get it. All right, blind buy it. It's from a director called Pete Walker, who was a UK horror filmmaker in the 70s and 80s. I mean, he's most well known for House of the Whipcord and Frightmare.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Which I've heard about, but hadn't seen. And I've always meant to get around to. This one I'd never heard of, and the subject matter had me interested immediately. It was called House of Mortal Sin.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if I've heard of that.
It's a priest slasher.
Oh, fun.
Josh, you would fucking love this movie. It's from 1976. The poster and what's on the Blu-ray is a little pulpit frame and has a priest praying, and then the foreground are two hands clutching a rosary like a garrote wire to strangle someone, and then at the bottom of it is a dead woman's head falling back.
Awesome.
It's really, 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 really good. It was also called The Confessional Murders in America, but every release of it now is back to House of Mortal Sin. It's so fucking stylish, so fucking fun. It's very like late 70s after the success of like The Omen and stuff like that. They're like, okay, Catholic stuff is popular in horror movies. Slasher movies, it's like right after Black Christmas, so like it's before the like teen slasher boom that happened in the late 70s, early 80s. So it's still kind of like the mean slasher era.
Yeah.
Um and it's about a like young priest who like moves back to town, and he's like gonna like start up with a church nearby as he like connects with old friends and stuff like that. And he inadvertently joins a parish that is being led by an elderly priest who is batshit crazy, who lives with his aging invalid mother and a one-eyed woman who helps take care of her, and who is like sexually obsessed with all of the young women that come to him for confessional.
Ooh.
And many of them start killing themselves. And when he starts harassing the new priest's friend, it's like your classic kind of gaslighting story, because almost like the movie we're about to talk about today, because everyone around town is like, he's just a kind of priest, he's trying to help you, why would you say these awful things about him? He's like taping people's confessions to blackmail them into like spending more time with him. And it's super fucked up. A lot of bodies pile up. It has a really mean ending. I cannot recommend it highly enough, Josh. I think you in particular would love it. And I think people who listen to this show would fucking love it.
That sounds really good. I wonder if it's streaming anywhere.
I wonder. I hope so. I know Pete Walker has a like big box set coming out in the UK from 88 films, but you can pick up this one and a handful of others from Kino here in the States pretty cheap, it seems. I only like 2 people I knew had logged it on Letterboxd before, and they both gave it 3 stars. And so before watching it, I was like, I don't know, maybe we'll see what this turns out to be. And I fucking loved it. It's kind of like up there with Death Game for me, of like really surprising like 70s movies.
Yeah.
So if you like the movie we're talking about today, and you like fucking like The Sentinel or Black Christmas, it's kind of like a combo of those two.
That sounds good.
Like Peeping Tom energy too. It's really tasty. Highly recommend.
Well, I actually have 2 70s movies to talk about. And one I'll talk about first because you mentioned how popular Catholicism was in the 70s. But in horror movies, I just rewatched the Amityville Horror, which I had only seen once as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to perhaps create a lot of enemies here, but I was shocked by how bad it was.
It's mid.
It's mid is generous. I would say it's actively a bad movie, and it's not because of the reasons that the dum-dums say. Like, I don't think it's boring. I don't like any of those sort of like 70s movie slander. It has a terrible script that makes no sense, has no structure. It's so unsatisfying. Like, there's a gate to hell, and the spirit says cover some well that is never followed up on, and it's like, what happens? What is happening in this movie? Like, what is the story that who is the main character? Let's start there. Like, nothing about this movie works except for a pretty good score and some beautiful cinematography here and there. But it's just like, I was shocked by what a bad movie it was. It's one of those movies that I feel like is a classic, but is not timeless. Like, it only makes sense in the context of the 1970s.
It like did big numbers when it came out in the 70s.
Huge.
It was huge. And the iconography of that house has like blown up, because that was like a style of house. Like, houses all over the United States were built that way. And now
it's a
like,
beautiful house.
Did you know the actual Amityville house, they took those windows out so it doesn't look like that anymore?
You'd have to, right? Because people would never stop harassing you, I guess.
Yeah.
Even Margot Kidder and James Brolin, who are such great actors.
Isn't Rod Steiger the priest? who gets
Yes.
attacked by the flies. Like,
It's such boring performances from wonderful actors. It's just a really bad movie, and it's so huge. Counter that with the other 70s movie I watched that I found randomly on Tubi when I was up in Washington. A movie from 1973 starring Elizabeth Taylor called Night
oh,
Watch. Have you seen this?
oh,
It's really a Josh
does it
movie
have
to
a
the
different
extreme.
title?
It may, I'm not sure. But she plays a wealthy American housewife living in London in a townhouse. And her garden, she shares a backyard basically with this abandoned house. And she thinks that she's seeing like murders happening in the windows, sort of like rear window style. And Drusilla, you won't believe it, but she has a history of mental illness. And so when she tells her asshole husband and her best friend who's visiting, no one believes her. And then there's like sort of a gardener kind of character who's a little bit shifty and may or may not be burying people in the backyard at night. And it's just like a paranoid woman film that is just extremely my kind of movie. Hits all of my buttons, has a really great final 10 minutes. And yeah, I loved it.
That
I thought it
sounds
was great.
like a lot of fun.
It
Elizabeth
is fun.
Taylor really did some fucking crazy shit in England. Sorry, I was confusing that with Identikit, which was a movie she did in
Identikit.
'74
Yeah,
in Italy.
that's a movie that we should do sometime. That's in the House of Psychotic Women box set, Identikit,
Yes.
and it's really good.
Um,
The
there's
reviews all say like washed up Elizabeth Taylor, which I think is mean because she
rude,
looks really beautiful in this movie. She looks
rude.
glamorous and beautiful, and I hate that sort of thing. Like, let people age, especially when they age beautifully, like Elizabeth
Yeah.
Taylor.
I mean, John
So,
Waters always said the thing about Elizabeth Taylor that they dressed Divine up like Elizabeth Taylor as a joke, but then by the end of Elizabeth Taylor's life, she ended up looking like Divine, which
do you know
is
who looked like?
rude but funny.
Do you know who looks like a late in life Elizabeth Taylor now? Is Robert Smith from The Cure.
Yes, he does.
It's a shame.
It's a shame. It's
Um,
unfortunate. I love
but
him.
yeah, me too. And I love her. And Night Watch is great, and it's on Tubi.
That reminds me, there's another super weird Elizabeth Taylor mental illness England locked in like a big house movie. Have you
Uh-huh.
seen Secret Ceremony with her and Mia Farrow?
Yes, yes.
And Robert Mitchum for some reason playing an
It's
Irishman.
such a good movie. I love it.
Oh, that movie is high camp. That movie is
Yeah,
crazy.
the best.
Yeah, Joseph Losey, as soon as he started directing Elizabeth Taylor, his career started like taking a turn away from like
Yeah.
the go-between and the servant, and then he made boom with her and fucking. Oh my god! I really want to see Night Watch though. That sounds good with Domino Harvey's dad, Lawrence Harvey,
and also Billy something.
Billy Whitelaw.
Billy Whitelaw, who listeners will know from The Omen. She's the nanny in The Omen. And also, she is the voice of Agra in my movie, The Dark Crystal. Really great character actor.
She's been in like everything looking at her. She was in Hot Fuzz. She was in Alfred Hitchcock's Frenzy. She was in the gay Merchant Ivory movie Morris. She was in Orson Welles' Mr. Cotton. She was in a Peter Cushing movie called The Flesh and the Fiends that I've been meaning to watch. Good lord, she's
a
like
great character actor.
British actor royalty. Yeah,
really good, and really good in Night Watch. 70s movies are goated, that's for sure.
Speaking of goated 70s movies,
yeah,
especially ones where you want to fuck the entire cast.
Yes, a cast that cannot be beat. So listen, we decided to do this because the great Donald Sutherland passed away, an actor who we love. Of course, he was the star of many great art house horror movies, and we have done an episode on Don't Look Now early on, so we couldn't do that. And so we were discussing what we could cover that had Donald Sutherland. And of course, he's been in a lot of great movies, art house or otherwise. Clute, Buffy. I mean, Day of the Locust. You could just go on and on and on. MASH. But this is a horror show. We decided to cover a movie that we both absolutely adore. It is a remake, probably, maybe the best remake of all time. It is directed by Philip Kaufman from 1978. We are discussing Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
They come from a dying world. They drift through the universe, pushed on by the solar winds. They adapt, and they survive. The function of all life is survival. Sleep. 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 From deep space. Sleep. The seed is planted. Sleep. Sleep. Terror grows.
Matthew!
Like the others.
Elizabeth, wake up! Get you when you sleep. Sit up!
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It's got no detail, no character.
I mean, where do you even start with this incredible movie? Go ahead.
I mean, when was the first time that you saw this movie? This is like the kind of movie that I don't remember seeing for the first time, honestly.
I don't remember seeing it for the first time either, but I know that I was an adult. Like, I definitely saw this as an adult because I was not really watching 70s movies until, like the early 2010s, which would have put me at like age 30 or like late 20s or early 30s. So I definitely did not see it as a child, did not see it as a teenager in those formative years, because 70s movies, beyond like some biggies like Halloween or Texas Chainsaw, were just not a part of my rotation until I was grown. I
need to admit something about myself here, which is that when I was very young, when I was a child, we're talking elementary school age, I was really into MASH.
That is wild. The movie MASH?
The movie and the TV show, but more so the movie.
Oh my God.
So
I'm so shaken right now. Go on.
I want to take you back in time to the year 2003, maybe 2005.
Yeah.
I'm in elementary school. I'm quite young. And for some reason, I was very into MASH. I had a MASH t-shirt.
This is wild.
That I bought at a Target, like brand new in the kids section. I don't know who was targeting MASH at the youth of America in the early 2000s. I was the fucking test case, apparently. So I also liked Animal House a lot when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Also same age. And so I knew who Donald Sutherland was. Yeah. And I would flip through the TV channels when I was home alone. And I had to have seen it that way because I remember seeing the early scenes with him and Jeff Goldblum in the like mud bath place right before they find the first kind of duplicate body. I remember seeing that a lot, and I would always kind of test myself to see how much further I could get from that point, and I would get way too scared really, really fast. We also, because of my kind of weird interest in that movie, then saw the Nicole Kidman remake Invasion or The Invasion or whatever around 2005. We saw that in theaters. I remember my brother, who I don't talk about in the show because I have a really, really fucked up history, and he is a person I do not keep in my life because of things, and is all you need to know for the story is a very hardened individual who's very, very tough and very, very aggressive, to put it politely. Got so scared that we had to leave the movie in the remake of the remake of the remake.
Yeah.
And I believe we ended up finishing Rush Hour 3 at the theater across the street. Across the hall, rather. But I got very, very, very interested in the story, and I've since seen all 4 versions. And shocker, this is the best one.
This is the best one.
None of them are bad. None of them are bad. I was going to say,
I like all of them. I like every version of this story that I've seen.
I will also say, and we'll definitely get to it on the show at some point, the 90s one by Abel Ferrara is fucking underrated.
It's great. Really great. It's on
with
the military
Gabriel
base.
Anwar.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, my partner last night, I was like, "Do you want to watch this with me?" And he's like, "No, it's too scary," because he'd seen it before. And I was like, "It's San Francisco. It's where you're from." And he's like, "No, I've seen that. It's too scary." So this is a legitimately scary movie, I think.
It's also a bleak movie.
Yeah.
And it also
Really
just
bleak.
has there's never anything shocking. The only blood you ever see is coming from Jeff Goldblum's nose. There's never like anything that bad. You never really actually watch someone other than maybe one person die on screen.
Yeah.
Sort of. It just has like an oppressive tone to it that is so almost like Eraserhead, that is so overwhelming that like you just feel dread the whole time. And a lot of that is to do with the sound design.
The sound design is very good. Very, very good. I also really love the direction here. I mean, it reminds me of some of my favorite horror movies like Don't Look Now and Rosemary's Baby. It feels like that. It's got a really strong sense of pacing, of editing. There are these beautiful shots of tiny details that you might miss if you're not watching carefully. It's just so perfectly executed. And you know who loved this movie, who is a bitch and doesn't really like anything, is Pauline Kael loved this movie. Pauline Kael loves the movie. You know it's good. Not really.
Pauline Kael, Brian De Palma's biggest supporter. So
is that true? Or are you being facetious?
No, seriously.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Pauline Kael was the person that put Brian De Palma on the map and then defended all of his movies for the most part.
I mean, she's such an interesting person because she wrote reviews that are so mean-spirited that they make you want to leave the country for the rest of your life. You know, she was such an acid tongue. But when she really liked a movie, she really championed it. And she really loved this. And to the point where Roger Ebert, who didn't like it as well, was like, her review is inexplicable because he did not see what she was saying. So, the reviews were mostly positive, but there were some notable exceptions. This does make some changes from the original movie from 1955 and from the novel. Philip Kaufman decided to kind of do his own thing, and he was in touch with the original director who has a cameo in this movie. And one of the things that he decided to change was to have the aliens be, basically flowers from outer space. The first thing you see is this weird gelatinous matter floating from a dying planet through outer space and landing in San Francisco. And that's the second change that he made, is he reset the movie in San Francisco in the late 70s, which is really interesting thematically because, the 50s movie is kind of about the Cold War and paranoia and also
communism.
Communism. They're here. They're already here.
Yeah.
And also, the pressure to fit in, conformity.
Keeping up with the Joneses and
yeah.
Yeah.
But the choice to move it to San Francisco in 1978 is a really interesting one because, first of all, we have these two characters, Donald Sutherland and Brooke Adams. Is that
Brooke Adams?
Name?
Yep.
Yeah. They play two characters that are kind of like former hippies. It's the late 70s. They live in San Francisco. Now they work for the health and safety agency for the government. So they've kind of sold out to the man, so to speak. They're friends with Jeff Goldblum and Veronica Cartwright's characters, who are more esoteric and stuff like that. But it is interesting that they set this in the city that is most associated with the hippie movement at a time when we're, not that far from the end of that movement. So it's really interesting because it is a city of extreme individualism, of, supposed open-mindedness to all kinds of religious and philosophical and political ideals. So setting a story where everyone is made the same from an outside malignant force in San Francisco, I think is really interesting.
Mm-hmm. I would also say that this would make, following that theme, this movie would make a killer double feature with another Jeff Goldblum movie that would come out a few years later, The Big Chill. also about that generation's absolute like loss of ideals and embrace of quote unquote conformity, especially like within Reagan capitalism in the 80s.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, that is just around the corner, the Reagan years, and that really does a number on boomers. And somebody pointed out that this was released a month after the Jamestown massacre.
Oh my God.
You know, that came from San Francisco. That church came from San Francisco before they relocated to Guyana, where they took their own lives en masse. But I feel like in the moment that was coloring the reception of this movie too, and the city of San Francisco, frankly.
It's also, I mean, it's also like, talk about a like quiet, unspoken infectious disease spreading through San Francisco that the government doesn't and police don't want to acknowledge, but seem to be covering up. In 1978, just a few years before AIDS would also hit too. It's like so oddly prescient in that way. There's even like at one point Leonard Nimoy's character is assuaging Brooke Adams' fears that her partner, he's not gay, he might seem different to you, but it's not because he's suddenly decided that he's a homosexual or something.
Or a Republican, he does
or a Republican. Yeah.
I love the relationship between Donald Sutherland and Brooke Adams in this movie. They have so much chemistry, and they do kind of kiss and fall in love, you know, near the end of the movie, which I always forget about because in the first half of the movie, I was like, what a great movie about like a great platonic work friendship. Like they're coworkers. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's kind of implied that they've known each other for a while and that he might have feelings for her.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the sense that he has a crush on her, but I didn't get the sense that it was reciprocated in the first half of the movie. And
absolutely.
because he's a little older than her. He's not as traditionally attractive as her partner, played by the great Art Hinkle. Is that his name? From Black Christmas and The Brood.
Art Hindle. Art Hinkle is a different person.
Okay.
That's a different actor altogether. Yeah, Art Hindle of The Brood and Porky's fame.
Yeah, Art Hindle is very traditionally attractive, but kind of a dud as a partner in this movie. He's like, before the takeover is already a really shitty boyfriend.
Big time. She's like working on fucking botany and like reading books about this weird plant she just found. And he's like, I'm trying to watch the game, babe. And she's like, I'm reading a book. And he's like, fine. Guess I'll wear my headphones. And you're like, you should get snatched. You should get body snatched.
He does suck really bad, but I will say it is, first of all, he is very hot. Second of all, he does live in one of those $1 billion, like, what's that show from the 90s? Family Matters. No, the San Francisco one with the twins. Full House.
Yep.
He lives in one of those $1 billion Full House townhouses that are so iconic in San Francisco. So he's got that going for him. I'm not sure if I would be ready to jump out of bed with him either if I were her.
You'd take his pod just to keep the townhouse. You'd sacrifice everything about yourself.
I've done worse. I dated a really boring person because he had a pool.
Oh no!
But I couldn't keep it up for very long.
Josh, anyway, there are free public pools in most neighborhoods.
Are there? I feel like we got rid of those to like punish black people or something. I don't know, some racist legacy. Anyway, these two actors are fabulous together. They have great chemistry. I love Brooke Adams in this. I wish I'd seen her in more movies. I mean, maybe
she's still alive.
Well, yeah, but I haven't seen that many movies with her. So
her big movie is Days of Heaven.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
The Terrence Malick film. Yeah, that's like her big thing. She's mostly a theater actress, and she is, as of now, and since the 1980s, married to her partner, Tony Shalhoub.
Oh, I love Tony Shalhoub.
Yup. Which is why Brooke
actor.
Adams has been on almost every single season of Monk as a different character.
I love it. Good for her. Good for them. I wish them well. I think she's incredible in this movie. I think she's beautiful. I think she's just likable. She's like a girl next door type, but you just like her. I love her voice. She has kind of like an Emma Stone kind of husky voice. She does something with her eyes that is truly insane and alarming. I kept thinking that was going to come back. Like, you know, when someone suspects that she's been taken over by a body snatcher, I wanted them to be like, do that thing with your eyes and see if she knew. I don't know. I just thought it would come back in some way.
Well, this movie was written and directed before Save the Cat was published. So had that not been the case, it definitely wouldn't have happened.
Maybe that's why 70s movies are so good.
I will say the cast of this movie is freaking incredible.
I mean,
those
wow.
two are kind of our central couple. We also have a very sinister Leonard Nimoy circling around our main crew.
Terrible person in this movie, but very good.
Both before and after pod switching, though you're never certain when Nimoy has been switched out, or if he's just been a pod the whole time, or if he just sucks. Period. Because Goldblum's character hates him anyway. But the MVPs of this movie for me are Jeff Goldblum and Love of My Life Veronica Cartwright, one of my favorite actresses of all time.
They're so great. So yeah, they're a married couple.
Veronica Cartwright from Alien, obviously, the year after this, but also like The Birds when she was a kid, and Witches of Eastwick, and Speed for some reason. Like,
she's so good in this. They play a married couple called the Belichicks that own like a hippy dippy mud bath together, which is so strange and so San Francisco in the 70s. He is wearing like a old army jacket, so we get a sense that he's a Vietnam vet and is kind of paranoid and a little bit anti-establishment based on the conversations he has with Leonard Nimoy, who's like a famous psychiatrist they go to his book party to meet him. She is reading this pretty famous, I researched, sort of pseudoscience books. She's somebody who believes in aliens already. That's what the book she's reading is about. She believes that aliens in the ancient world came to Earth and mated or, you know, did DNA swaps with monkeys to create human beings. So she's already in the world of like weird, esoteric pseudoscience and, you know, very weird San Francisco stuff. So she's primed to believe.
And she's the one who calls it first of all of them. She calls it like straight away. She's like, oh, it's these plants and they're probably coming from outer space, to which Goldblum is like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, like we always expected to be metal ships, but who would suspect plants, flowers? And she's right, which is why she's the one who makes it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important that we're following these people for a reason, right? Because like Brooke Adams finds that flower in the opening shot in the park. And so, and she's a professional botanist. That's what she does for the health and safety department. So it's not a coincidence that we're following this particular group of people, I guess.
I will also say, not since the feature film starring Larry the Cable Guy do you get many movies focused on health inspectors as your central character. I was going to say,
that's one thing I love about the 70s. That's one thing I love about the 70s. Like nowadays, I feel like a studio executive would be like, I don't know, could he be like a firefighter or something like sexier and more? But no, he's like a health and safety inspector. The first time we meet him, he's shutting down a fancy French restaurant for finding rat turds in the bouillabaisse or whatever.
It's a caper.
It's a rat turd. It's such a good scene. But it kind of sets him up to be, I don't know, a little unlikable, you could argue. He's really officious. He's really pitiless. The waiters or the cooks like smash the windshield of his car in retaliation. So he's not set up to be like a super likable guy.
I will say for like screenwriting, like tropes and set pieces, that's one of the smartest ones you could put into something like this, because they break his windshield at the beginning of the movie for normal, like everyday reasons why that would happen. So the rest of the movie, they're driving around in his car with a big kind of spider webbing broken front windshield, which makes everything from their perspective far more sinister straight away. It's such a great device.
There's an incredible scene later on in that car where you're watching through that broken windshield, and Kevin McCarthy, the star of the original film, has a great cameo where he runs up to the car and he's saying his original lines like, they're already here, you're next, they're coming, all that sort of stuff. And then he disappears around a corner, and townspeople at San Francisco, the people of San Francisco are chasing him around a corner, and then their car turns the corner and we don't see what we expect. Instead, we see a whole street full of people who are standing perfectly still, just looking at this dead body. And it's so creepy.
Yeah. There's a few. That's like one of my favorite examples of like paying homage to an original film that you're remaking. Because, hey, look, it's the actor and he's doing the thing and saying the thing from that movie. That's great. That's in there. Well, it's also like setting up and moving the plot forward and like still like building out the world of the movie at the same time. And it's one of the creepier set pieces in this. And there's a slightly more iconic one that runs through the movie and then pays off at the end of the homeless banjo player and his dog.
Yeah.
Which
is
oft discussed.
Yes, there is a great scene near the end of this movie where, you know, he's an everyman, our Donald Sutherland, and so we established early on that he's friendly with this homeless person and his dog. The homeless person plays the banjo, and then near the end of the movie, when everyone has been taken over and they're on the lam, we re-encounter these people, and something has gone wrong with their transformation because they have mixed the man and the dog, and now the dog has a man's face. And they make the wild choice of scoring this moment and only this moment with like hillbilly getaway banjo music.
Yeah.
Which I read was provided by Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead, which is so strange. Well, and hilarious.
That, but also earlier in the movie when Donald Sutherland like says hi to him while he's like walking into the building, he's like playing the banjo and like playing a song, and that's like fully like performed and sung by Jerry Garcia. And I like remember like when that scene happened being like, damn, that's like a cute little folk song. And then I read that and I was like, oh fuck, it's the Dead. Gross.
Yeah, I'm not a big Grateful Dead fan either. I do like a couple of songs. But
I'm not a Deadhead, but I do like 70s folk from that era. They should have gotten CCR, the better San Francisco band of the 70s.
Love CCR or Jefferson Airplane, or there's a lot of good San Francisco bands from the 60s and 70s.
Can we talk about the priest on the swing?
Yes. That's somebody famous too.
It's somebody famous, but also it's the first like super unnerving, like what the fuck is going on shot. It's Robert Duvall and an unpaid cameo,
and
uncredited, no line, just on a swing. But also we get like a school field trip into the park. This is our like first like main shots on Earth, and we pan over and see a priest in a full priest robes, full outfit, like viciously swinging on the swing set with these kids. And it's very weird and like immediately like draws to mind pedophile priests and this very like unnerving idea. And then we switch to the swinging priest's POV.
Yeah.
Which is like not something you would ever get in like a modern movie, especially of like this type.
Yeah.
It's such a great fun way of like setting the stage.
I mean, there's a lot of that where like a random person, because Brooke Adams, her character Elizabeth, is kind of noticing this before everyone else does. So she has the onus of being the crazy person who keeps saying like, saying to Donald Sutherland's character, like, oh, my boyfriend seems different. And she's the one who's like sort of the canary in the coal mine in regards to this. And at first he doesn't believe her, but very quickly does, based on an experience at the Belichick's where they catch Jeff Goldblum's doppelganger in progress. But we do get a lot of these little moments where just like a random person in San Francisco is standing perfectly still and staring at Brooke Adams. And there's a great line of dialogue. I wish I had it in front of me, but she's like, they're passing something between them. I can tell. Yeah. and it's just that feeling you get when you know something's up. She's feeling that very early, and we do get a trope that I love in horror movies in general, which is just like creepy people staring. Like every folk horror movie has like all the townspeople lined up at the side of the pond or whatever, just staring. Just I just love it. It's a great thing.
It's so delightful. We also get the like dead trees at the end of the movie, which feels so alien and so creepy.
Yeah. And also there's a lot of garbage trucks that are like disposing of the old husks of these pods, and no one notices at all except for us if we're actually watching the movie and not looking at our phones. There's everywhere.
There's a lot of garbage trucks throughout the movie, and it takes a while for you to start to pick up to see what's going on with that. It's so well paid off. I will also say the cinematography by Michael Chapman.
Beautiful.
We're like hot off of shooting Taxi Driver is fucking gorgeous. And he shoots so many and frames so many of the main characters like cut off or divided or on the extreme left or right sides of the frame. It's always uncomfortable. It's always bizarre. There's the famous shot near the end of the movie when Donald Sutherland is leaving the health department offices, and he like is coming around the corner, and he's reflected in the metallic surface of the corner he's coming around, so it makes this weird doubling effect. There's a lot of that in the cinematography in this movie. It's so beautiful. I mostly think of this movie when I think back on it of like gorgeous night scenes of them like running through the city near the end, or like leaving the book party to go to the Belichicks and stuff like that, or staying up all night. But like the exteriors in the daytime are also outrageously beautiful.
Totally. I mean, it's kind of weirdly rare to set movies in San Francisco, I guess because it's so expensive and difficult to film there. But Philip Kaufman did say that he wanted to call back to movies from the 40s and 50s, like the original. So, for instance, there's that famous shot when they're running through the Embarcadero and all of their shadows loom really large on that back wall. That's like directly out of old 40s, 50s movies. So he is trying to do his own thing, but make subtle nods at, these like sci-fi horror movies from the 1950s, which I love.
I really like the work of director Philip Kaufman, but this movie is both his most famous and a significant outlier in his career.
What else did he do? I don't know his work.
Only science fiction film he did. It's the only horror film he did. He's most well known outside of this for The Right Stuff.
I've never seen that.
And then the Unbearable Lightness of Being, Henry and June, and then the other stuff he made in the 70s was like The Wanderers with I don't know, but that's like a 50s like greaser movie he made in the 70s. And then one he made before this was The Great Northfield, Minnesota Raid, a Western with Cliff Robertson and Robert Duvall.
That I've never even heard of.
Yeah. So, and one of the only Canadian Arctic Eskimo thrillers of all time, the 1974 movie The White Dawn with Warren Oates.
Well, I'm here for an Eskimo movie. I'd love to see that.
But yeah, I feel like most non-Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like Philip Kaufman movies, if you think about his stuff, you think about Unbearable Lightness of Being was like such a big deal as like a big NC-17 movie or big X-rated like erotic like prestige kind of European adaptation. Henry and June, the first like big NC-17 movie. And then he'd make Quills, which like period erotica, like big classy period films. The Right Stuff was like a huge classy period, like 4-hour long like dad movie. That like he's so good at creating the right tone and mood and vibe with Body Snatchers that I'm shocked he wasn't like picked to direct like Aliens or like Amityville 3 or like I'm sure there's jobs were offered to him and he turned them down to do better stuff, but like this is like the only remake in the bunch. It's the only horror movie. It's the only sci-fi movie. He also wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
a lot of different stuff going on there. So he clearly does have a like love and respect for like 30s, 40s, 50s movies. Remaking this, making westerns, making writing Indiana Jones and shit like that. But I just, as a filmmaker, this movie's so tight and so well done that like it's a shame that we never got more genre work out of him. This is a banger.
I love a sci-fi horror movie so much, and I feel like we don't get enough of them, and we don't get enough of them that are good. And
that's the problem.
I mean, of course, they were huge in the 50s because it was the atomic bomb scare and all that sort of stuff. But after that, we don't get enough of them, and they're mostly not good. One of the critics that I was reading about did make a comment that this movie really makes the case for remakes, which people can be really dismissive of, myself included. I generally, if it's a remake of a movie that I love, I generally won't see it because I just don't want to put myself through that. But I think that this is arguably the best remake of all time.
I mean, it's high praise. I would put The Thing, The Blob, and The Fly up there.
All sci-fi horror movies.
Yeah.
It's so strange, isn't it?
I think if you take a look at what's the through line between those four movies, why are they so good? First thing, Jeff Goldblum. If you're going to remake a movie, put Jeff Goldblum in it. It'll instantly have more value than one without Jeff Goldblum. The other thing is that they are adaptations almost entirely in concept only. The only like variant there would be The Thing, which weirdly throws the movie out and goes back to the book. But the thing they do so well is that the movies that they're remaking aren't Citizen Kane. They aren't like,
that's the thing,
well-regarded masterpieces that are like deeply beloved. These were cult movies that like had fan bases and fandom and like were like regarded kind of, but only in the annals of Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine or something like that. And on top of that, not even that much. Like The Fly was viewed as kind of hokey by like the 60s and 70s.
And it is hokey.
It is hokey, and it's fun, and that's like half of Vincent Price's career. And like the original Thing from Another World has the kind of plant vegetable stuff that this remake has. And I just feel like to make a good remake, you have to be working from something that's already not perfect, not to like knock the original Don Siegel Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That movie is
actually a great movie.
It's a great movie, and not to knock the original Fly or the original like Blob or anything like that. Those movies are all wonderful, but the thing to do is to not take something that's already like so deeply perfected, and on top of that, not to remake it beat for beat, shot for shot. You have to like mold it and update it and grow it. All of these remakes share very little in common with their originals, especially The Fly.
I think of like the Suspiria remake, which I like quite a bit. I know that a lot of people have mixed feelings about it, and I do prefer the original Suspiria. But what I like about it is that Luca Guadagnino just did his own thing. You know, he didn't try to make a shot for shot remake of the original. He like went his own way, for better or for worse. And that's the thing. It's like, I know that, for instance, some people really like the Rob Zombie Halloween. I loathe it. I think it's garbage. And I just feel like you are not going to out John Carpenter remaking Halloween. You're just not going to beat it. If you can't beat it, then like, don't try, I guess.
If you're not going to beat it, then beat it.
Then get out of here. Yeah.
It also, like, Hollywood has been trying to make a live action version of Akira for, like, 20 years now, and it hasn't happened. Because you're not going to be able to do it. Similarly, like, I don't know if you've seen stuff in the trades lately, but, like, Marvel has been trying to make a version of Blade of late with Mahershala Ali and Mia Goth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I think, the third director attached just left. It's once again like they're back to like the screenplay stage. They're back to like trying to figure it out. Like not, and I'm not saying that the original Blade movies are fucking like up there with the work of like Truffaut or anything like that. But
Yeah.
like, it's okay to not do it. It's okay to like do something different, do something else. Like Marvel circa 2024 is not going to make a vampire movie well enough to even get
Yeah.
off the ground. Like,
Yeah.
what about the other remake of The Thing that came out in like 2011? That was like a prequel, sort of.
Oh, I never watched it because, again, I am prejudiced against sequels and prequels. I am somebody who's like, I don't need it. I don't need this. The only one I'm going to see really going forward is like Scream movies, but only because my friend who loves Scream is going to make me go to him. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason I see them. I truly do not see sequels or remakes, just as a rule. Not because I think that they shouldn't exist or anything, but I just like, I feel at this point in my midlife that I just don't need them. You know?
Yeah.
I just don't need it.
I will say Maxine is a sequel.
That's true. I'm seeing Maxine Weekend One. But if it's a movie I really love, like say The Craft, then I'm too worried to see the remake.
It was bad.
Because here's the thing. People will tweet this all the time. Like, so smug. Like they'll be like, a remake or a sequel doesn't change the way that you feel about the original. And it's like, actually, yes, it does. Maybe not me personally, but Halloween, for instance, is a good example because it's a wonderful film and it has a terrible franchise full of horrible remakes and reboots. And it does, in fact, cheapen the reputation and the legacy of that original film. It just does. It makes it seem lowbrow and cheesy. And I think that that's just a fact. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's not a popular thing to say, but here I am saying it.
I will say, I do think there are a handful of like, there are still a lot of really interesting movies out there to be remade that like you could remake, but studios don't want to do them because they're not popular. The studio math is, if it's famous, we'll remake it because that's easy money because people know what that thing is. But that, like, by that regard, we've had so many fucking versions of the same thing of late. Like, how many different people have played Spider-Man in the past 20 years? That's stupid.
Look how shitty the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street remakes are. It's just because those movies are too iconic, too popular. Like, leave them alone.
Or what about the new Exorcist?
I know. I mean, I'll never see those movies as long as I live. But look, I just tried to get the rights to remake. I really wanted to rewrite The Eyes of Laura Mars, which is a movie that I love. I think a modern giallo adaptation would be so killer. And Sony said no. They said no because they were like, it's not famous enough. And maybe if David Fincher wanted to do it, we would do it. But like, otherwise, no. So I just lived through this and it sucks.
Yeah. It does. But like, that's the kind of stuff that like would make a better movie. Yeah. But it's not what's going to make good marketing.
Yeah. You don't take a 5-star movie and remake it. You take a 3-star movie that you have a passion for and something that can be updated in an interesting way.
So if anyone who is working at the Fox Film Archive is listening to this, or anyone who has producing power over at Fox, this is why I would like to remake Myra Breckenridge. Thank you very much. You can get back to me. You know my email address. I have a great pitch for it. We'll turn Myra Breckenridge into the fucking trans Rocky Horror that it was meant to be, into the fucking important film of trans culture. I promise I can give you guys a Moonlight from fucking Myra Breckenridge. We can do it.
Sometimes I feel like, like recently they announced the Possession remake, another movie I'll never see as long as I live. And someone was saying like, oh, I'm upset that a woman isn't directing this. And I think that's a little bit silly because the original one was made by a man and it's perfect. In the case of Myra Breckenridge, I I am only interested in a trans woman making that movie. That's like one of the only exceptions that I can think of where it's like, I think a trans director and writer and that's it for that.
Yeah. I want to like beat up Gore Vidal from Beyond the Grave and make my own movie.
I love Gore Vidal, but it's a different time. And
I love Gore Vidal's writing and a lot of different things. Gore Vidal as a person is a little issue.
Oh, he was horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anything else to say about Invasion?
I think this movie is wonderful, and I would just want to close by saying that when I was in college, one of the earliest vintage posters I ever bought was the poster for this movie.
It's great poster.
It's the like of them, their shadows running at the top that like stretches down to the bottom with this big like kind of orange glow over the whole thing. I bought it at a horror film festival in Chicago, and I lived in such a tiny apartment I had nowhere to hang it other than on the ceiling directly above my bed. And I lived in like a loft bed situation, so it was like inches from my nose every morning.
Oh my god.
So I slept under it. Can you believe they got me in my sleep?
I meant to say earlier when you were talking about your obsession with MASH as a little kid. That is so funny to me because famously people my age, like children of the 80s, there's like TikToks about this. Like that's how you knew it was time to go to bed as a child of the 80s. So I hated MASH. I hated that music. I still get like the ick from it because
from early morning
well, it's really the TV version which has no words where it's like and it's like, well, now it's adult time to go to bed.
Because the original lyrics are suicide is painless. They're not going to put that on ABC in the 70s.
But for people my age, like Gen Xers basically, or old millennials, that is like a really bummer song because it meant like time to go to bed. The adults are taking over the house. And then everything from the 70s and the 80s just felt really icky and weird.
Anyway, that movie also hasn't aged well. It's probably like the Porky's of Robert Altman's career.
I've never seen it. I have no interest in seeing it because that show just really annoyed the shit out of me as a little kid.
Well, in memory of Donald Sutherland's passing, and because I know you like Robert Altman movies, you should give it a watch eventually.
Maybe you're right.
It's genuinely a lot less like the show. It's very different. And it stars Bud Cort from Harold
and Maude, one of my favorite movies. But you know what? I'll never watch that show either. I've never watched that show because I hear that music and I get to hoofing it. That's still my reaction to that.
Well,
music.
He's not in the show. He's just in the movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's play our favorite game, a game where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie. I've got someone in mind. She was the star of the 2000s version we talked about. Do you think AMC's Nicole Kidman has seen this movie?
Yes, I definitely think she has. I think
she's a director girly. I think she's like really into films.
Yeah, I think she's absolutely seen this. I think she saw this before she was involved with doing the remake. I absolutely think she's seen this. And I think she's a big fan of it.
I think she would be too.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a director's eye. I mean, she picks projects based on the director before she even reads a script. Like that's her MO. She just did that thing where she thanked like every director she's ever worked with in like a big long list, which I thought was really sweet. Not everyone, because she notably left some out, but she's so good and so cool. Yeah, I agree. I think she's seen it. I think she loves it.
She's just the best. I'm trying to think about conspiracy theorists right now.
Ooh.
Do you think, because this is very much a movie about a plant-based conspiracy, which I can't believe this hasn't come up on the show yet, but this movie, Jumanji, and Little Shop of Horrors made me afraid of plants as a kid. Which is something that I'm still working on getting over.
Sure.
I was afraid of plants and Muppets as a child and watched MASH. What was wrong with me?
That's so funny.
Anyway, it's a plant-based conspiracy, and the only similar conspiracy I can think of is that there is a conspiracy theorist who is very loud and proud of I don't know how proud he is these days, but he is a proud neo-Nazi piece of shit. Um who has kind of more like amphibian-based conspiracies.
Okay.
In that he
Meaning
believes
that Jews
that-
are lizard people? Is that what you're going to say?
no, that they're turning the frickin' frogs gay.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that Alex Jones has seen Philip Kaufman's Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Oh my God. Has he done anything cool in his entire life?
He was in a Richard Linklater movie.
He was?
He's
Which
in
one?
Waking Life.
Really?
I think he was like a radio disc jockey at the time who like spewed those kinds of views, if not worse. And he would like go out on the street with like a megaphone, and Linklater filmed some of that, and it's in the movie. I think that's the context for it. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I need to rewatch it.
I only saw it once. I saw it in college at art school on a
Same.
date. That was like a really terrible date. I don't really like that movie, to be honest.
It's very under the radar. Some people deeply love it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Alex Jones, no, he's not seen this. There's no way.
I could see a version in which he's like, "Oh, it's my favorite movie. They're so right. They're coming to take us over."
Maybe he would find a way to like make it about being a conservative and how like conservatives are victims, or like
Yeah, exactly.
how, white heterosexual men are being taken over by pod people or something whack like that.
It is so interesting to me that the 50s version is like, the commies are here. Your neighbor could be a commie. You don't know. Is it Jim from down the road? Or is it Jose Sterenko from the USSR, come from Cuba? Like
70 years later, we're like, please, communists, come rescue us. Like, where are the communists we were promised?
This movie feels like that, even though the 70s one feels like, well, there's no more communists. Everyone's getting a job. Like,
yeah.
Capitalism will solve all your problems.
I'm thinking of like a sci-fi LA icon, and I'm talking, of course, about the founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. Do you think that he ever saw this before he passed away?
I'm gonna now have to Google L. Ron Hubbard to find out when he died. God damn it, Josh.
I think he died much later than this, I think. Like decades later.
I'm just going to search L. Ron Hubbard death, so I'm not put on a list, or maybe I will be put on a list. Okay. 1986. He passed in 1986. He was definitely running the Church of Scientology by this point, but he was also a science fiction writer for years and years and years. I think L. Ron Hubbard definitely saw the 50s one. He definitely saw the 50s one. I don't know if he would have seen this one. But I'm probably it was a big hit, so we'll say yes.
I mean, he might have been too busy running his teenage slave navy.
Yeah, he was out on the boat.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say that he's seen it too. That's my guess.
I as mentioned, deeply love Veronica Cartwright. And she was in another great sci-fi horror movie called Alien, Obvi.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also known as a child actor for being in The Birds.
Also set in the Bay Area.
Also set in the Bay Area, and also, depending on how you want to read it, a science fiction movie with a similar ending.
Yeah.
Do you think Alfred Hitchcock saw the 78 Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
When did he pass away?
84.
84.
Beat L. Ron Hubbard by that much.
I don't think so for some reason. Is that crazy?
I could see him not being into science fiction.
Yeah.
I could see him just being like, meh. I know for a fact that he was watching like the art house movies that were coming out at the time, and he was watching like the sleazy horror movies that were coming out at the time. Because that's the stuff he was like, oh, I wish I'd made that. And you're like, yeah, I'm sure you do, bud.
Yeah.
Instead, you had to stalk Tippi Hedren. Like, yeah, I could see a world in which he entirely missed this, which is a shame because it's fucking great.
It's great. Yeah. Perfect movie, I think. I think it's a 5-star movie.
Before we head off, because this episode is very much an in memoriam for the talent and magic that is Donald Sutherland. So many people are familiar with him and his work. And obviously Come Here, like Don't Look Now is fabulous. I'm sure like younger people mostly just know him from the Hunger Games. Do you want to recommend one Donald Sutherland deep cut movie to listeners before we head off?
I don't know if I have a deep cut movie for him because he has such a huge career. And to be honest, I've probably only seen more famous ones. But I guess if I think this is a deep cut for most normies, but I would say Day of the Locust is a movie I really deeply love.
Not enough people have seen that movie.
Well, I think it's a bit hard to find if I'm not mistaken. It's really good. It's classic Hollywood. He plays a man named Homer Simpson, weirdly, who's being taken advantage of by a beautiful young wannabe actor. And it's super dark, beautiful Los Angeles movie, crazy second half, beautiful movie. Love, love, love. Love Day of the Locust.
Young Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah.
That movie is wonderful. It did just get a Blu-ray from Era Video.
Oh, I gotta get that.
It's more readily available now than it ever has been. That movie is deeply stressful. And
oh my God. The end of it is so stressful.
I know.
And dark.
Not even the end of it. Like the midpoint of it is also so stressful.
It's true.
When the stage collapses, it's so good.
It's so good.
There's a few Donald Sutherlands that I like grew up on that I deeply love. There's a few that I still need to see. Like I need to see him as Casanova for Fellini, which sounds amazing. Never forget that he's in Beer Fest.
Interesting.
He made choices. Dr. Terror's House of Horrors is really good. But one that is, I think, criminally underseen and like very, 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 very good is the Yushin Palsy movie from 1989, A Dry White Season.
Oh, I don't know this movie.
So it stars Donald Sutherland and Ziggs Mulcahy, who's an African actor, and it's about apartheid in South America, and it is a really fucking tight, taut thriller on par with like Costa Gavras movies like Missing or Z, and it also stars Susan Sarandon and what I consider the final great late career performance by Marlon Brando.
Whoa, okay.
It's really, really, really good. It's also the first U.S. studio film to be directed by a woman of color.
Wow.
It's really fucking good. It's incredibly moving and deeply, deeply underrated. If you're going to be shopping your Barnes & Noble half-off sale on Criterion stuff this weekend, please pick up A Dry White Season in honor of Donald Sutherland and check it out. It's very timely considering what's going on of late in those parts of the world at the moment. To look back to what was happening in the 1980s in South Africa and why the word apartheid has taken on such meaning in the past 40 years. It's an incredible movie, and I don't hear it discussed even a little bit enough. So.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Bloodhaus. If you liked this, please rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on X or Instagram. Drusilla, where are you wandering these days?
You can find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. There's a whole bunch of new stuff up there. There's a few new horror movies coming out that I have artwork for. I'm very excited about. A bunch of other stuff in the works that I have to stay hush hush on, for the time being. The new release of Bound is available from the Criterion Collection at Barnes & Noble at half off. I highly recommend you get that, along with everything else that I've done artwork for them that's currently on sale. Go buy it. Go get targets. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Hyde's Sister, or you can follow me on Letterboxd. If you look for Drusilla Adeline or Sister Hyde, you can follow me on there. You can find out what I think of Georges Méliès's movies and why I've been watching so much Richard Linklater this year. What about you, Josh? How can people point their finger and scream at you from afar?
I'm at Joshua Conkel on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Next week, we're watching an old movie that I've never seen before, and I'm really excited to see. What is it?
Next week, we are watching a super cozy ghost movie, widely regarded to be the first serious ghost movie in Hollywood history, and one with oodles and oodles of gothic charm and queer subtext. From 1944, and starring The Lost Weekend and Dial M for Murder's Ray Milland, we will be watching the spooky, cozy ghost chiller classic, The Uninvited.
Ooh, I can't wait. I'm long overdue on that one. Bye!